Now, before I start, let's just stop here and let's make some of you guys talk, sort of put them on spotlight. I'm looking for new faces today. Let's get Ishita Chobdekar. Ishita, you have your headphone. I hope you can talk to me. I'm not sure whether you have an audio.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Which country are you in? Which city are you in?
I'm currently in Sharjah, UAE.
Good. You were there for the program and I came there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was good
You were
fun.
here.
1,000 people, 1,000 girls together. That was really good fun. Tell me, what's your
Yes.
expectation from today's session? What do you really want to learn about habits? Which habit of yours is troubling you the most, which is not helping you to grow? And what is your other
I
expectation?
believe focus. I have no focus at all unless I feel like doing something.
Yeah,
So, having that concentration
yeah.
in studies, especially, I want to learn about that.
Sure.
And I expect,
Yesterday's 50-10 technique will definitely help. And today I'm going to
yes,
teach you,
sir.
and tomorrow I'm going to nail it for you. So you really will be able to increase that. Ishita, thank you very much for talking. I really appreciate that. Let's get Deep
Thank you.
Iyer online, making this really interactive. I know you're not in front of me live session, but I'm going to make this virtual session as live as possible for you guys. Let's get Deep online. Can we have him? That's Deep Iyer. Hi, Deep. How are you doing? Which city are you in?
I'm in Dubai, in UAE.
Good. Did we meet before?
No, but
Okay.
yesterday I was there for the session.
You were there yesterday. Good. What's your expected? What is it? What was your best learning from yesterday's session? Like the top technique you learned yesterday.
I think it is 50 is to 10, that time blocks. That is very helpful. And, like you told, at the beginning, it's hard to follow it. Later, when you you keep practicing it, I think you get better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the fabulous techniques. I mean, I use it every day, including today as well. Today, this is my third session. I had a session in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one now. And I'm preparing new content. And when I'm preparing new content, you need silence, you need focus. And that happens when you just commit yourself and sit in one place and then you knock it down. So, Deep, I'm very glad that you spoke to me. Ishita, you must learn that technique really works to get the focus going. Initially, the brain is going to go all over the place, but you can control and get it back in. Right. Today, I have 8 techniques for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yesterday, 6, today, 8 is going to be a huge, massive session. And we want to finish all of this in 1 hour. I really hope that you guys pick up the best from the session. Good luck to you. If your parents want to join, they can join. It's going to help. Guys, we're going to start with morning rituals. Your focus begins with what you do in the morning. As soon as you wake up, your morning time is important. Make notes, take screenshots, do what you want, but do it. It's important. Morning ritual number 1. These are habits we're talking about. You must have a fixed time to get up, and you can use an alarm. Take a mobile phone. If you wish to, remember I told you, don't keep the mobile phone right next to you. Keep the mobile phone 10 feet away from you in the opposite side of the bed, so that when the alarm works, you don't put it on snooze. No snooze, no snooze, no snooze. The phone should be away from you 10 feet. So you have to get out of the bed to put the alarm off. That's the way to wake up. I give you 4 slots. You can choose a slot: 4:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., or 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Choose one slot, and every single day you will wake up at that time only. For me, 4:30 works very best because what I do is I understand the science of sleep. I understand the science of what you need to do when you have to conserve your energy. The whole game of habits is energy. You're going to save your energy. You're going to use the energy for your exams. So I believe, this is my belief, and it's scientifically proven. Today, towards the end of the program, I'll show you a video as well. Look, guys, if you sleep 1 hour before 12, I repeat, if you sleep 1 hour before 12 o'clock midnight, for every 1 hour before 12, you get 2 hours of rest. 1 hour of sleep is equals to 2 hours of rest if it is before 12. Yeah, that's the science. So what I started doing while I failed and I was bouncing back in my education is that I would go to sleep. I would look at going to sleep at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So if I sleep at 10 o'clock, let's say example, if I sleep at 10 o'clock, that's 2 hours before 12. So I'm sleeping for 2 hours before 12, but I get 4 hours of rest. Did that make sense? Did that make sense? But I know some of you guys study in the night only, right? Now, a lot of people who believe, like my daughter studies in the night and she struggles to study in the daytime. And she calls herself the owl. She says, I want to be awake in the night. It's a good idea if you want to. I don't have a problem if you don't have a distraction, if you focus, there's no noise. But research says Early to bed, early to rise makes one healthy, wealthy, and wise. It's a proverb. It makes a lot of sense. If you can change the habit of keeping yourself awake in the night versus sleeping in the night, look, it's a cycle of life. Why did the universe create a day and night? The day for you to be awake so that your digestive system, your entire metabolism, your chemicals in the body are working during the day. And then when you go to rest in the night, all of this kind of rejuvenates itself. The bad chemicals go out. I'm going to show you a video later and your body rejuvenates. So I think if you have another 2 or 3 months before exams, you should look at seeing if you can change that cycle, not just for now, but it'll be a big change for the rest of your life. That's my suggestion for you. It's difficult, but try. So every time you sleep every hour you sleep before 12, you get 2 hours of rest. So even if you put in 6 hours of sleep, you get 8 hours of rest. That's the key. So guys, see if you can wake up early. Now, when you wake up early, let's say, for example, tomorrow, day after, you start getting up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Now, that's a quiet time too. You can study that time. Nobody's there to disturb you. 4:30 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7:30, 3 hours of peace. But remember, when you wake up on day one tomorrow at 4:30, you will feel tired very quickly tomorrow. Okay, you're going to start feeling sleepy by about 9 o'clock or so. And that's fine. If you can hit the bed by 10 o'clock, so 10 to 4:30 is about 6.5 hours of sleep. That means to say close to 9 hours of rest. And I think that's very important. Sleep early, wake up early. That's the way to go. If I made sense, go to the chat box and tell me what you feel about this. And also, if you have questions, keep typing them, because we have people in our team who are making notes of your questions as well. And we'll tell you, we'll answer your questions. Go to the chat box, keep talking, keep interacting, make this like a super interactive session. So guys, there we go. Wake up. That's the morning ritual. Now, what happens when you wake up? The first thing you do, of course, you switch off the alarm. But what I've done here is I've done some research for you. Electromagnetic energy, which is there in the universe, that energy is there in your body. I don't have time to explain all that in detail today, but I wanted to know this, that the science is that when you wake up in the morning, the purity of the universe flows into your body and your concentration and your focus increases tremendously, right? So that's one thing. And like I told you that when you wake up early through the evening, you might feel a little lazy. You might feel a little tired too. You might feel like sleeping in the afternoon. That's totally fine. Do this for 3 days and your cycle will change and you'll be okay to study in the mornings. Okay, next one, prayer. I'm going to teach you 2 techniques. So yesterday I did mention, but today, let me explain to you. Everything is about energy, energy, energy. As soon as you wake up, the moment you wake up, be on your bed. Now, of course, you've gotten out of your bed. You have switched off your phone or your mobile phone, which is giving you the alarm. Come back on the bed, okay? Come back on the bed and close your eyes. If you're a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, just say a small prayer, whichever prayer you believe in, and then do these 3 things. 3 things you're grateful for. Example, I have a roof on my head. I have plate full of food. I have my parents with me. I am alive. Whatever you're grateful for, those 3 things. That's going to push in positive energy in your body. Don't start off with, oh, I have to study so much. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. No, bad idea. And then 3 goals that you wish to achieve, right? As I do this, Saurabh, can you please come to the room? I need your help. Right. So coming back onto this. So guys, 3 goals. So whatever goals you have, like for example, a goal could be, I want to study well in my exams. I want to, study in a particular college, or I want to be more peaceful. I want to be more happy. Whatever goals you have, say those 3 goals before you get off the bed. Okay. So guys, you're sleeping early, you're waking up early, you're starting with a prayer. Am I making sense? These are called morning rituals. Next, this next one I'm showing you is a fabulous technique. If you want to get into good habits and start studying well, you'll not even believe that this technique helps, but it really helps. Make your own bed. Don't wait for your mother, your father, or your mates to do your bed. You do your bed. You know, I'm in a hotel, but every morning when I wake up, I still do my bed in a hotel. I traveled about 20 days in a month. I still do my beds. If you come to my room, my room's going to be clean and nice. How? Why? Because there's a research behind it. Have a look at this video. This is an American Navy SEAL talking about the power of sleeping. Have a look at this. Can you hear?
To me, basic SEAL
Can you hear, Ishita? Oh, you can.
training was
Yes,
a
we can hear
lifetime
you.
of challenges crammed into 6 months. So here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. To me, basic SEAL training was a lifetime of
Sorry, my mistake, my mistake.
challenges, basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. To me, basic SEAL training was a lifetime.
Guys, what do you think about this video? Go to the chat box. Does it make sense to you? Now, you're talking about the toughest Navy people, and that guy is saying where he got trained, they asked him to make his bed every day, and he was wondering whether it's a ridiculous idea or what. But he says it created a discipline. When you start something small in the beginning and you know you're in control of that, you can create a ripple effect of many other good habits thereafter. He's talking about the fact that, when you start doing such things, when you just start making your bed, your brain gets a message that I'm doing a small job well, and therefore I'm capable of doing another important job well. Studying techniques is very, very important. A lot of people talk to you about, take the question paper, read this, take the easy questions first, answer them. And I'm giving you different kind of techniques altogether. Yesterday, we spoke of 6 outstandingly different techniques, and today 8 coming your way. Everything to save your energy so your focus improves. Look, you're a student. You have teachers with you. They can always tell you how to approach your paper. That you don't need me for. My job as a mindset coach is to help you understand your brain and how to use that really very well. And these are the first 3 techniques. They are daily rituals. We have the 4th one coming, so stay with me. Let's have a look at what you guys' responses are. Yes, I can see people like saying, Naja says small things do matter a lot. When you make small changes, it'll later help on to do bigger things. Yes, a lot of sense. Somebody says, beautiful message. Thanks, Aaron, for that. Guys, make this interactive. Don't keep the videos off, for heaven's sake. Come on. I'm in India doing this for you. And I'm going live. My video is on. My audio is on. How can yours be off? Come on, guys. Keep it going. Let's get back to the presentation now. So I've shared 3 techniques, but let me summarize this. In the summary, when you make a bed, you get a sense of accomplishment, and that's good message for the brain. The brain says, oh, I've started something well. I can start something new and better as well. So you don't start stressfully. You're starting positively with something which is happening. A small task, a big task, then it leads on to. If you do little things right, you will be able to do bigger things right too. So that's why make your bed every single day. And don't forget, your parents will be proud of this. At least they'll think, Rahul, your session worked for my children. JN University is bringing this program for you. I'm Rahul, going live. The next technique number 4, 10-10 formula. Make a note, 10-10 formula. 10 minutes of exercise and 10 minutes of meditation. In a day is good. If you can do it 2 times, even better. Now, what do I mean by this? Not normal, simple exercise. 10 minutes could be super fast running, or you can do aerobics, or you can do anything where your breath's going to be really, really hard and you're going to sweat out. Like today, for example, like I told you, I'm traveling and I did not have enough time to do my exercises because I'm doing back-to-back sessions, but I'm committed to exercises. Now, what do I mean by that? Today, this morning, I did not have enough time, but 10 minutes of rigorous exercise, boom, 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 boom. I'm sweating. My breath is really hard. You can feel that pressure over here in the stomach. And when you know that's happening, your mind, your vibrations in the brain is called the brain wave. It shifts. The energy shifts and you are able to remove the toxins and you're able to focus and concentrate. Remember, if you're not sweating, I remember, if you're not exercising and you're not sweating, you're not living, you're dying. I repeat, if you're not exercising, you're not living, you're dying. Exercise every day at home, go out. Can you do more than 10 minutes? Great, but you don't have time because of exams, 10 minutes is fine. The moment you finish your 10 minutes, immediately you can sit for meditation. And if you can't, then it's fine. I mean, you can sit later in the day, but meditation will help you. Silence and solitude, yesterday I told you, but meditation will help. Now, I do not know Akanksha and people from our university. We can send some video links to them later. I can give you some links. They can practice that at home. But if you don't have any, just doesn't matter. Go to YouTube and say 10 minutes meditation. You will find many links. Just do any one. Right, guys, with that, I come to the end of part 1. We've taken exactly 30 minutes to close this. I finished part 1. These are daily rituals. I'll tell you how to gamify all this, but I'm going to pause, and everybody, all the 200 people right now, more than that, go into the chat box and tell me. Go into the chat box and tell me, did these 4 techniques make sense to you? Come on, go. If you have any questions, go to the chat box on questions and leave the responses there as well. Somebody said, I go to the gym every evening. That's fine. Remember, the technique, the research says that if you exercise in the morning instead of evening, you'll get better results. But exercising anytime is good. Just exercise, but mornings are better. Don't forget, if your sleeping patterns will change and you want to sleep by 9:30, then you can't be exercising at 7 o'clock because you're going to eat food at 8 o'clock. When will you go to sleep then? So all this has to work. Keep it going. Keep it going. Get me the messages. I love the messages coming in. We have it as Mr. Ravi, who is from DPS Kuwait. Sir, if you're here, we will unmute you for a few seconds. Very quickly, I would like to bring you on the spotlight if you're here, sir. I'm not sure. Saurabh, can you find him? And if he's here, we'll quickly get him on the spotlight. I can see parents as well. Harsh Agarwal, who's sitting with you. Good to see you there. Is Mr. Ravi here? Can somebody
No,
acknowledge?
I can't find it.
Okay, we can't find him. Doesn't really matter. With that, I'm going to continue. Let's just bring on Shruti. Shruti, as we bring you on, my idea is to basically talk to you and ask you, what do you think about the techniques we've learned so far? I have 4 amazing techniques coming up for life. And before that, Shruti is coming online. Unmute Shruti and tell me, did I make sense to you in the last 20, 30 minutes?
Yes, sir, it's very helpful and I'm surely use it.
Which of these techniques would you like to apply in life?
The prayer one.
That?
Prayer.
Prayer? Okay, sure. Don't forget making the bed. Every technique I'm sharing, just blindly follow and see the results. In 7 days' time, you can see amazing results. Thanks, Shruti, for talking to me. Boys and girls, I love this. Thank you very much. Let's get your videos on. Let's get your videos on. I love the energy in the WhatsApp group. I love this. Najat says, sir, these are wonderful techniques and unique as well. Deep says, Rahul, sir, the techniques are working. All are great for me. Thank you. If I sleep at 8 o'clock, then can I get 8 hours of sleep rest? I love this. Sparsh is asking me, he says, Rahul, if I sleep at 12 o'clock, then according to the logic that you said, if I sleep at 8 o'clock, according to your logic, if I sleep from 8 o'clock until 12 o'clock, I've slept for 4 hours and I get 8 hours of rest. Is that good enough? Well, of course it is good, but your body also needs to be rested. 6 hours is good enough in terms of sleeping, but the rest can be 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, depending on the way you sleep. But I think 8 o'clock is way too early. 9:30, 10 o'clock is fine. Yeah. Okay, let's get on to the next set of techniques now. Let's build the presentation back one more time. Okay, there we go. Morning rituals are getting over. We're now going to life rituals. Protect your energy and use it for your exam preparation. All of you are youngsters, and I know the problems you face, and I have designed this program on the basis of what I learned when I was a youngster. So, what makes you angry? Do you agree with me? Anger sometimes makes you lose your time. We get angry and we fight, we lose our patience, our concentration goes to dogs, we are not around the place, and then we're messing around, and then by the time you come back, you would have lost 2-3 hours, in some case 2-3 days as well. How many of you guys have the problem of anger? If yes, just go to the chat box and say yes, 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 yes. During examination, remember guys, this is the water bottle, this is the energy. You want to use your energy for exams. You don't want to waste on anger. You don't waste on oversleeping. You don't want to waste on anything which is stupid, which is not going to help you. That's energy. Use the energy for exams. Now, how do we work this out? Let me explain to you. All right, guys. So let's get the presentation back on and let me help you understand how to work this. So first question, what makes you angry? Guys, go to the chat box. What makes you angry? I repeat, what makes you angry? Now, I do know this. Sometimes it's parents, sometimes it's a brother, sister, whatever. But I want to know your responses. My brother, my brother, everyone is someone is triggering me. I get angry with my brother throws a toy at me. Stress makes me angry. Mohammed, that's a good response. Good one, Mohammed. My life makes me angry. Veena, why would you say that? People around me make me angry. Accountancy makes me angry. I'm tired, my life. Okay, fair deal. Fair deal. I'll give you answers to the questions and also give you some techniques today, all right? So hang in there. So guys, remember, when you get angry, this is what happens to your body. You can make a note of this. You can have a screenshot if you want. When you get angry, see what happens. Our body is also reacting. We get, our head goes crazy. We have a lot of rush of blood here. And then we can stop thinking. We don't think clearly after that. Our face turns red. Our shoulders get tensed. Our breathing becomes harder. The heart pounds. We have, clenched fists. The palms get sweaty. You feel some weird feeling in your stomach. And of course, your legs also hurt. That's what happens when you get angry. Imagine if so much of time is lost in anger, how will you study? So let's understand. This is a very, very beautiful stuff, guys. If you get angry, which is shown outside, there is something happening inside of your brain. Now you need to, guys, go to the chat box and tell me when you get angry most of the time, especially when you're studying, what are you angry about? Because you're doubtful, you're overwhelmed, you're exhausted. Some people said exhausted because you're confused, you're disgusted, you're hurt, you're bored, you're offended, you're sad, you're disrespected. All this is invisible. Your anger, like you get angry with your mother because mother says, go do your cupboard. You say, I will not do my cupboard now because I need to study. Now you get angry. Your mom says, study, study, study. You get angry, mom, don't ask me to study all the time. Let me take a break. Your brother's, you're studying and your brother comes and irritates you by putting a TV on or he starts playing. You get angry with that. You get angry with yourself because you don't have time to study enough because no exams are coming by. You get angry because you think you haven't done enough in the past. All these are the reasons why you get angry. But beneath that, there is that emotion of yours which is fixed, which is creating that anger. And that anger has the emotion which basically comes from a fear, the fear that you may not do well, the fear that you may fail, the fear that you might not get the right marks, the fear that you may not get into the right school or college thereafter. That fear is troubling you. Correct, guys? Am I making sense to you? Am I able to read your mind properly? If yes, put your thumbs up and let me know. Put your thumbs up and let me know. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I understand your need, guys. That's why the session is created with a lot of care. And don't forget, you'll get a certificate by Jain University if you complete all your 3 sessions, right? It is not the certificate that matters. It's the basic learnings that you have. And that's what my interest is. I really want you guys to get better in your life. I really wish, look, you're about 18 years, you're in 12th standard. My daughter is 12 in 12th too this year. She's also doing the session today with all of you. And I know what she's experiencing is exactly what you're all experiencing. Dia, if you're here, go to the chat box and say, hi, Dad. So guys, this is how you need to understand. You get angry. This is the reason why you're getting angry. Now, let's not deal with the anger. Let's deal with the reason of the anger. If you deal with the reason of the anger, it becomes easy. Now, I'll teach you a technique. Whenever you're angry with someone, okay, there are multiple techniques. We'll do a longer session when I come to your city someday. But in today's session, very simply, let me give you 1 or 2 exercises. I'm just checking. Yeah, I'm checking if you guys are here. Yep, great. So now let's see a technique for you guys. Okay, how do you overcome anger with your father, mother, brother? Remember, when we get angry, we are not able to think properly. Our energy is wasted and therefore will not study well. Now, I wanted to understand what happens with anger. See, this is what happens as you get more and more angry, like anger is an emotion, right? As you get more and more angry, your thinking, your judgment level goes more and more down. Can you see this? The highest anger has the lowest judgment. When you're really, really angry, you shout, you scream, you say things you don't mean. Your parents and your brothers say things you don't mean. Oh, I hate you. Don't be like this. Get out of my place. Don't ever talk to me. We make such statements because we are on a high emotion level. Our judgment level is really low. And whatever we say, we don't really mean it, right? But people remember exactly what we said in anger, right? So guys, my suggestion to you is when somebody's angry or you're angry, best idea is to use a technique to control your anger. because whatever you say or hear that time does not really make sense. It's going to waste your energy. You lose your time. You'll not be able to study. So here's the technique for you. It's called BFS. Make a note, please. Blow, face, space. That's the technique. For the next 2 or 3 months before you complete your exams, keep using this technique. Now, when somebody's annoying you, when somebody's getting you angry, what do? Technique number 1, breathe as if you're blowing a balloon. Okay? So it is basically going to be 3 balloon breaths and calm down. Example, see this? When something is getting you angry, deep breathing. See? Deep breathing. Really deep breathing, but don't go in front of your dad or in front of your brother, sister who's getting you angry and breathe. That's stupidity. That's not going to work. Be quietly doing your work. This is happening in your brain and your body. Breathe deep. Breathe. 3 breaths can become 30 breaths, can become 90 breaths, can become 120 breaths, but breathe, 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 calm it down. Somebody said, how do I control my impulse when you're on the verge of losing control? Breath is the first thing. Our breath is the key to everything. It's not easy. I've written a book on how to control anger, but today I can't teach you all the techniques. Learn one. This is a beautiful technique. If you have more questions, we'll take questions later as well. So first is, guys, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and keep telling yourself it's not worth shouting, not worth screaming right now. I just need to relax because my studies are important. Second is, instead of frowning, smile. Just keep a gentle smile on your face. Yeah. And third is give yourself some space. I repeat, give yourself some space. Give yourself time to reflect. My suggestion is, when you know that you're angry, take a space. Just tell the person, your father, mother, brother, sister, that listen, I'm really getting angry and I don't want to misbehave. Can you give me a 5 minutes break? I'll come back and talk to you. Your dad might say, I want to talk to you right now. Don't go anywhere because I'm angry too. And you better listen to me. Okay, in that case, keep breathing. But best is don't talk during that time. Research says 5 minutes break or 20 minutes break. 5 minutes to 20 minutes break can help you to bounce back really quick. But if you indulge and you get angry, you're going to lose your patience. You're going to lose your focus, lose your concentration. How to create daily habits and life habits. So guys, BFS, breathe, smile, keep the smile on your face. The moment you smile, you can't be angry anymore. So breathe, smile, and then give yourself some time. 5 to 20 minutes is a good idea. Go to the chat box. Tell me if I'm making sense to you. That's the first technique. Second, remember, anger is okay. Violence is not. You can't get angry and hit people. You can't get angry and throw things. You can't angry and slam the door. You can't get angry in abusive language. You can't get angry and shout, scream. That is not allowed. It will only harm you. You will not be able to study. Next, how to use your smartphones. So guys, smartphones are a wonderful tool for you to study and do well in your exams. You can do a lot of research, but I know most of us spoil our time or waste our time on Instagram. Once you go to one reel, another reel, another reel, another reel, another reel, we are just lost completely. It's just not worth it. You don't even know 30 minutes have gone. So you have to learn to control your phone, but especially in the night. Have a look at this video. I'll show you why it is important to use the mobile phone properly and definitely not before sleeping. Have a look at this.
The impact of screens on sleep. You know, people are exposing their eyes to this stream of photons from these objects that basically tells your brain, stay awake, it's not time to go to sleep yet. So it's 10 p.m., it's 11 p.m., it's 12 p.m., you're checking for email, you're looking for text, you're doing all these things. That light beams in you. It tells your brain, don't secrete melatonin yet. It's not time for sleep. And you're up at 12:30, you're up at 1, you're checking some more because you're up after all, why shouldn't you check? Now, you go to bed at 1, you wake up at 6 to get ready for work, that's 5 hours of sleep. We now know that what sleep is likely doing is allowing your active neurons to rest, which is fine. But more than that, the supportive cells, called glial cells, are now cleaning up the toxins that the neurons produce. And if you don't get from 7 to 9 hours of sleep, you just get 5, the toxins remain there for over 95% of people. There are a small percent of people who are genetically different. They don't need that much sleep. But for the vast majority of us, we need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So even though it's like a badge of courage, I only had 3 hours of sleep last night and I'm working today, it makes your attention falter, your memory is impaired, your ability to think through problems is challenged, Your insulin even, that helps regulate your metabolism, is turned upside down, so you're more likely to gain weight from what you eat and eat more. And then, if that weren't enough, it's actually toxic to the connections in your cells. So, in your brain. So what you want to do is prioritize sleep. Shut off your screens, let's say by 9 p.m. Give yourself an hour at least before you're going to bed, and keep those screens off. It's a serious, serious problem for everyone, and we can do something about it by actually actively deciding that's what we're going to do, is take care of this aspect of the digital domain.
Right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sure your parents have been talking to you about, not misusing phone, not overusing it. But today you also see a scientist talking about it. And of course, I've been explaining this to thousands of youngsters who've changed their life because of this one amazing technique. So guys, have a look at this, a quick summary of what that video was about. He's saying that melatonin, which is a hormone that is produced in our eyes, that impacts our sleep and our wake up cycle as well. So please remember, after 9 o'clock, just switch off your mobile phones. You can use for calling, but don't see the screen. I know it's very, very tempting, but when that's the message. And remember, when you're sleeping, your active neurons go to rest, and the glial cells basically removes the toxins from the body. And when you don't remove the toxins, you can't study well. You will get overwhelmed in about 30, 40, 50 days, and you're going to mess up your exam. So don't do that. Lack of sleep basically means you're not able to focus properly, so attention falter, memory, you can't remember things properly, thinking through problems, you will not be able to do that. And of course, your body, your weight, I repeat, if you want to reduce your weight, sleep in the night in time, you can see that happening. And of course, the toxins in the brain will also now get cleared. So guys, so much can happen as far as mobile phones concerned. So good sleep is needed, and switch off your gadgets by 9 p.m. My recommendation is that you must sleep at least for 6.5 to 7 hours minimum. 8 hours is good, but 6.5 hours to 7 hours is good enough during exams. Sleep before 12 so you get better sleep, right, guys? You get better rest. With that, we've completed 2 techniques. One that is in part 2, habits for life. One is how to control anger, BFS technique, and second is mobile phone. You understood this, go to sleep in time. Next thing. Number 3, my technique, number 3 for all of you. I believe this is the best technique. If you ever want to learn anything from me, learn this. What impact will this have on my exams? That's the question. A massive exam, massive thing. Remember, guys, when we're studying, we tend to become, I've said, solitude, silence, music, 50-10 technique, be with yourself, wake up. Everything is happening around you. But you need moral support of your parents when you're studying for exams. They need to know what is happening, how you're progressing, what you're doing. And my recommendation is, don't just go have a chat. It doesn't really work. Play with them. Maybe a game, maybe snake and ladder, maybe cards, maybe anything for about 15-20 minutes every night before you go to sleep. I recommend this to everybody. 20 minutes before you go to sleep, 15 minutes before you go to sleep, just switch off your laptop, studies, books, mobile, everything. And make your parents do this as well, because your parents will have the best gift from you if you can do this. Let them also switch off. Come together as a family and play. And while you're playing, you can have a chat. You can discuss about progress, what's happening, how you're growing ahead. If you're having a challenge, problem, difficulty, talk about this. It's going to create the bonding. They'll be a part and parcel of your learning process and your growth. They'll know how much progress you're making, what challenges you have, and therefore conversations will build great relationship. And remember, you need your parents more than anybody else during these 12th standard. So keep the conversations. Just play with them. I hope this makes sense to you. That just working, a machine is going to break down. You're not a machine, you're a human being. 15 to 20 minutes of a small game, not on a mobile phone, not gaming. I'm not saying that. I'm saying live game, card games, where all the family members come together and play. These 15 minutes of a break will actually enhance your productivity. I'll give you an example. There's a guy who has an axe and who's cutting trees. So he goes and he cuts trees so strong, he's super strong. He cuts off one tree in 1 hour. In 10 hours, 10 trees. Next day, he feels very excited. He works harder, but he's able to cut only 9 trees. After 5 days, he's able to cut only 3 trees, but he's working harder and harder. And one fine day, he's able to cut no trees, although he's working hard. He's really tired and he says, I don't know what's going wrong. Somebody comes and asks him, hey, are you sharpening the axe? He says, what do you mean sharpening the axe? He says, the first day when you started, your axe was sharp and you were working hard. But now you're working hard, but your axe is not sharp. And that's why you're not able to fell any tree. Sharpening the axe is important, just like that sharpening the mind is important. And the best way to do that is by playing a game. Yes, I mean it. Play a game. I used to play games on the day of my exam with my parents because I'd done my 2 visual study. I would do my 2 revisions. I would do my 3rd revision in writing, 4th in visual. I knew my subject very well, and playing was a part of it. My mom never threatened me. My dad didn't. They loved me because they knew that I was in control of my life. Now, you don't need to play video games, 100% not. You're not going to play video games. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying board games, card games, where you can have conversation, play together. So that's what I'm talking about. Great. Okay, fine. We're going into the last technique of the day, and I'll take question and answers after that. We're doing very well on time today. And here we go. The last technique, positive affirmations. Keep talking to yourself positively. Now, how do you talk to yourself? Don't use words like, oh, I can do it. I can do it is a sign of overconfidence. I will do it. I will do it is a sign of manufacturing success. You'll always be under pressure. I should do it. I should not do it. I should do it. Will create pressure in your brain. So guys, change your language and change the energy and change the results. Always say, I choose to. The moment you say, I choose to study, it's your commitment. I choose to work hard, it's your commitment. I choose to do 50-10, it's your commitment. I choose to make a bed, it's your commitment. I choose to say a right prayer, it's your commitment. I choose to sleep at night, is your commitment. I choose to, not I can, not I will, not I should. Remove these 3 phrases from your life. Never say I can, never say I will, never say I should. Say I choose to. It's a very, very powerful word. I choose to, because the moment you make a choice, you will not complain. You'll only come from commitment. I hope this is making sense to you. Right, guys? So these are the 4 techniques. And here's a summary. You can take a screenshot. Gamify the whole process. How do you gamify the whole process? You can earn points every day for yourself. 5 points for waking up in time, for prayer techniques, for making a bed and 10-10 formula. And 10 points for managing anger, no screen time before 60 minutes you go to sleep. Gamify the game, play a game with your parents, and use positive affirmation. So if you can really do this, for morning rituals, 20 points. For life rituals, you get 40 points, or 60 points per day. And check in a week, how many points have you scored? If you just do a self-assessment on your own, you will be able to really shift all the energy and put that energy into your education. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys. We have left with 10 more minutes, but before I get there, I'm going to do a quick little more thought process on how habits work, and then we'll do Q&A. So gamify the process, take a screenshot so that you have this with you. Guys, remember, it takes time to change your habits. Minimum, it requires 18 days. Minimum 18 days are required consistently every single day without a break before it becomes a habit. Median time is 66 days. And if you want to make a real habit for good life every day, like forever, automatic habits, then 254 days are required consistently without a break. So I know this, that before your exams, you will be able to at least try for 18 days or 66 days, and that will be good enough for you to go attempt to exam in the month of February or March, whenever they will happen. So this is my big recommendation. Even after exams, continue these habits because they're good for life. Now, changing habit is not easy. I'll just show you a small video and tell you what will happen to you tomorrow when you start changing habits. I want to show you a clip from a movie called Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3, if you remember, there was a black spider and the red spider. So the red spider gets this black thing on him. He becomes wicked, he becomes evil, and then he realizes he doesn't want to be like that, and he wants to remove that skin out. See what happens in the video, and this is what will happen with your habits too. Have a look at this. The more he's trying, the more it comes and gets stuck. Old habits are like that. The more you try to remove those old habits, which are bad habits, they'll come and get stuck. The more you try, they'll come and get stuck. But you see what's happening? The bell is ringing, and the bell rings, it creates vibrations. And when the vibrations are created, the skin is coming out easier. Have a look, check it out. You see that? The bell is ringing and he's able to remove it. The bell is ringing and he's able to remove it. Could you see that? Now, what's the bell ringing? The bell ringing creates vibrations. So keep talking to yourself positively. I choose to do this. I choose to wake up in time. I choose to exercise. I choose to meditate. I choose to play. I choose to do. The moment you create those vibrations in your brain, your old habits will go and the new habits will get replaced. Am I making sense? I'm not just teaching you what is good for you, I'm also teaching you how to do this. Aman said bad habits are very easy to form, hard to live with. Gold habits or good habits are hard to form. That's what I'm teaching you. This is how you do it consistently for 18 days, for 56 days, for 66 days and 254 days, and keep talking to yourself positively. Have friends, have family who will keep talking positive things to you, not negative. You need to avoid such people. Okay, guys, with that, I will now come to the summary of. And remember, don't expect success to happen like this. You will have failures, but don't give up in failures. Bounce back, bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. And that's the way to go. There are lots and lots of beautiful techniques that I've shared with you. But remember, practice and repetition is the key. You have to keep practicing and don't take a break. Don't break the cycle. Practice every day without a break. 10 minutes of meditation every day. 10 minutes of exercise every day. Playing with family every day. Doing the bed every day. Don't break the cycle. That is how you'll form habits. With that, you can go on to Rahul Kapoor Live. There are YouTube videos, podcasts, and there are also Rahul Kapoor Live Instagram channel. Plenty of videos available on how to overcome depression, anxiety, how to increase your confidence, how to plan and prepare for exams, how to use your parents' support for that. All of that is available. There are more than 200-300 videos available on YouTube, another 400 videos or so available on Instagram. Please watch them. Rahul Kapoor Live. You can subscribe. JN University is happy to bring this program to all of you live. Guys, you can stay connected. These are my contact details. You can make a note of this. And now we're going to go for question answer session. And I'm going to request our panelists to please start asking me the questions, which I can take for you. Akanksha, if you have the questions, take them on. We can even ask students to go live. So guys, I have commitment of time. I've not taken one extra minute today. We started on time. We're wrapping up our time. Take the questions. Am I making sense? You want the summary? Somebody asked for summary. Of course, I can give you the summary. Akanksha, you're ready for question? Go ahead, please.
Yes. There is one question. I go to the gym in the evenings due to easier availability of transportation. Is this fine?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'm just giving you the summary here, guys. Make a note of the summary. Look, exercise any time of the day is good. It's better to exercise than not to exercise. But research says that morning exercises are the best. 7 o'clock, before 7 o'clock, if you can finish, that's really, really good. But I repeat for young students here, any time of the day is fine. 10 minutes is bare minimum. You can do more than that if you have the time, right? So I recommend go ahead and exercise. Doesn't matter what time. Morning is preferable, but evening is fine too. Next question, please. Okay, who was asking me the question? Sort of pin the person so that we can go live together. And students, if you have to ask me anything at all, you can raise your hands up. We'll take you live. If your parents are here and your parents have to ask any questions, I'm more than happy to take them. Any more questions for me, please, Akanksha?
Yes. Yeah. How do I make sure I wake up even with an alarm properly in the morning?
Okay, look, there are two techniques over here as far as waking up is concerned. One is called the mental alarm. I use that technique. I mean, my brain is tuned to wake up between 4:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. every single day, with or without the alarm, because I've been practicing for so many years now. But I'll give you a technique. When you go to sleep, there is a rule to how to sleep. You can't just randomly, watch TV and go to sleep, be on the mobile, go to sleep, read a book and go to sleep. No. You should switch off mobile phone, TV, everything before 90 minutes before you go to sleep. Yeah, whenever you have a doubt, you're lying down, close your eyes, visualize technique. If the question is not clear, get up, go to the book, read the book, come back. So now you know that that's a process. At some point in time, you know it's time to sleep, close your eyes and say a prayer and go to sleep. Now, when you're sleeping like that, tell yourself in the brain, I am going to get up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever, 5 a.m. Put the alarm. Remember, the phone should not be close to you, should be on the other side. Put the alarm and go to sleep. And tell yourself before you sleep, I will wake up at 5. And you'll notice a lot of you, I think, can raise your hand up, let me know. A lot of you must be having this experience. The moment the alarm is ready, you will wake up 1 minute before the alarm. But if you just put it on snooze, if you have a habit, I can see a lot of them raising the hands up. A lot of people have this habit of putting the phone right next to them, alarm, the phone ring, the alarm rings, and you go to, snooze and all of that. That happens when you're sleeping late, happens when you haven't slept enough. And then, my daughter, for example, was experiencing complete blackout before an exam because she was studying without a break. And next day morning, 2 hours before the exam, she says she doesn't want to write her exam. She was so scared, so worried, so anxious. And we had to talk her through. She went for the exam and she got 85% after that. That's a different story, but you don't want to fall in that trap. Sleeping well is important. Next question, please.
Yeah, Aaron has a question. Is there an alternative for the games with parents? As my parents usually have work most of the time and are not there at home.
Your parents work at 10 o'clock in the night? I'm surprised. Okay, in case you don't have time to play with your parents, eat one meal with your parents, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And when you're eating food, you can also discuss. But I normally say don't discuss such things before during lunchtime, because when you're eating food, you just want to eat food. Don't eat your food in front of a TV. I repeat, forget TV and mobile phone for 2 months, guys. That's not a big compromise. It's not going to help you in any way. Just shut it off. Shut off the goddamn distraction. Tomorrow we'll talk about this, how to create the discipline. But it's important to have conversations with parents. You can go for a walk with them. You can play with them. If you have no other option by eating, but eating is a good time to just allow the energy to go in. You don't want to stress yourself and have arguments while eating. That's the only thing which I'm afraid of. But have conversations with them. It is important. Next question.
What type of food do we eat to keep our brain working? Ume has a question.
Say it again.
What type of food do we eat to keep our brains working?
One of the best questions of the day, if you ask me. Best question of the day. Look, I used to eat all sorts of food. I was 82 kilos. When I fell ill, I went to 65. You guys know, I was in bed for 6 months. I shared that story when I was there in UAE. And I had to bounce back. And food plays a big, big role for me. Even today, for example, I can tell you what I ate and how I went about my day. I love this question. Guys, make a note. I have not discussed this, but let me tell you now. 2 to 3 liters of water every single day. The more water you drink, more oxygen goes in the body and the brain thinks better. 2 to 3 liters of water. Have a handful of dry fruits, not too many because you'll get a stomach ache. Handful of dry fruit, like 10 almonds or 4 or 5 apricots or whatever you like. Handful of dry fruits every day. Okay, between your breakfast and lunch, in between that, you can have that. Your lunch should always be, I would believe, vegetarian food, preferably, which is not too oily, not too spicy. Simple food with a lot of salads, a lot of vegetables. You must eat 2 fruits per day. 2 fruits per day, minimum. Handful of dry fruits, 3 liters of water, lots of salads during exam, and stop eating your food 3 hours before you go to sleep. So you should complete your dinner 3 hours before you go to sleep. For example, if you're going to sleep at 10 o'clock, stop your food after 7, no food. And even water, just half a glass, not more. Otherwise, when you go to sleep, you get up to go to the toilet and stuff, which is not a good idea. I love that question. Whoever asked it, fabulous question. Give that guy a prize if you can. Next question.
Yes.
Somebody's asked me to
that,
have an Instagram page.
yeah.
Yes, I do have an Instagram page, Rahul Kapoor LIVE. Rahul Kapoor LIVE. Go on to that. Yes, next question.
Yeah. Is maintaining diary entry effective?
Oh, it is. It's called journaling technique. But I'm not sure whether you'll have the time during exams. Otherwise, when you do my programs, I always recommend maintaining a diary, which is journaling exercise. But during exams, some people do find it difficult. They want to use the time because I always ask them to exercise, meditate, talk to parents. And they're like, oh my God, 10 minutes of exercise. Oh my God, 10 minutes of meditation. Oh my God, 15 minutes of playing with my parents. Oh my God, lunchtime. So I've lost 2 hours. It's okay, guys. Those 2 hours or that 1 hour is not a loss. It's a rejuvenation. 6 hours of sleep, 1 hour with your parents, plus exercise, plus this, 7, 8 hours, 1/3 time used for relaxation is good. 2/3 time for education is nice. 24 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours is 16 hours and 8 hours. So 8 hours of rest plus family plus whatever is okay. That's 6.5 hours of rest, 1 hour of exercise, reading, family, another half an hour of getting ready and stuff. 8 hours is okay. Use the 2/3 time for education, 1/3 time for relaxation. Good question. Thank you. Last question of the day.
Yes. So it's apart from techniques, can you please give some tips on your way of presenting?
My way of presenting, you'll have to do another session with me. Tomorrow is going to be time for us to learn motivational techniques, and that's important. And for those of you who want to be with me, learn with me, remember, I keep coming to various countries for my programs with parents. You can come into sessions with corporate world. You can do sessions, and hopefully someday we can now have Jain University and Rahul Kapoor are tying up together to create online courses for students, which will take care of your career aptitude, your career choices, your goal setting, and all of that. I would recommend strongly when the course is ready, you must do those sessions. They'll really help you tremendously.